Another Nigerian who's looking at the nation's sports fortunes in the last 63 years is international boxing promoter Prince Stanley Williams. Prince Williams begins by giving an overview of the nation's performance in sports generally since the attainment of independence from Britain in 1960.
We've come a long way. And mentioning sports, I think sports generally is very big because we'll be talking about a whole lot of sports. We've done well in athletics. We've done very well in football. We're a very strong footballing nation worldwide. Our Super Eagles are well known. Um, we've qualified for several World Cups. Most of our football legends are also legends to other Africans and other countries. And so have we done well in boxing. We've brought about some great names, even though we need to do more in that area because I see a lot of capabilities that can actually be enhanced, so which has not been enhanced. So we also have done well in, things like Olympics, the Olympic Games. You've had people like Choma, Junwa, there are so many of them. I can't remember some names right now, but so many people have done well to represent the country, made us proud. These are things that bring the country together. Even a football team, you have 11 people, and in a team that plays in a match, so of course you have maybe over 20 something players, but 11 players are the ones that start up. So out of those 11 players, many of them, they have people that look up to them in different parts of the continent in Africa. So for 63 years, we cannot say we haven't produced in all sorts of areas.
The British born Nigerian boxing promoter zeroes in on the pugilistic and fistic trade and says Nigeria has been blessed with champions since the days of Dick Tiger and Hogan Bassey.
Boxing has done fairly well in Nigeria, not very well. So the big up I'll be giving the Ministry of Sports is in football and athletics. The boxing needs a lot of focus. Boxing is an elite sport. I keep on telling them over here, and boxing has not been shown enough respect that it deserves. So I feel Hogan Kid Bassey and people like Dick Tiger, they set the tone, they set the pace. So they are pace setters. So things are supposed to be much, much better at this stage as they are not here. And they are legends that if they were alive, I believe that they would have been voicing out that boxing should be given much more attention than it's being given now. Most of what is going on in boxing today is mainly individual efforts. It's mainly individual efforts. And the time of Dick Tiger and Hogan Kid Bassey, you had foreign managements, pushing them, taking them around, Now that it's an open field, there is equality in the Western world because then there was no equality. To be a black person then, there was a problem, so there's a segregation. So that is not existing now as much as it did in the past. So we have power. We don't have any excuses. We need all the support we can get to help push boxing. And especially when it comes with this new talent. You can see we had Samuel Peters, early 2000s. Before him, there was a boxer that traveled, Ike Ibawuchi. I think he went to the US, he had problems. So, but he left here. So those sort of stories, even Samuel Peter living here, I believe we need to start giving him much more comfortable environment and also sponsoring boxing properly like we should to enhance it. You can see Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Dubai, they are putting a lot of money in boxing now.
But the sport of boxing has not delivered on the promise of those brilliant and exciting decades long gone.
Era of Nojim Maigo, Dick Tiger, Hogan Kid Bassey, that era was the beginning. It's the genesis of the whole situation. This era should be better. This era cannot be less. It's not meant to be less. If you look at the US, you see that they had great eras in the past. This new era has much more fighters than they had in that time. So I believe the system has to be accorded to the government. It has to be changed. If you look at the Saudi side, the Saudi government has come in. They're not just waiting for corporate sponsorship. They're doing it themselves. So that as time goes on, it becomes something that it sells itself. Every company wants to take part in it. But now in Nigeria, it's like there's no support. There's zero support in boxing. And it all starts from the foundation. And once the foundation is right, everything grows. The amateur championships should be championed very well. The coaches should be giving good training programs so that they can do their jobs very well. Everybody will know their position. Somebody finishes from amateur, they should be turning pro. That is the major reason they started as amateur. Somebody does not go to primary school and remain in primary school. You must go to secondary and graduate from the university. So these are stages in boxing. So I would be hoping that things will change as time progresses. The boxing sector needs a lot of help from the government. Every government that exists on earth, once the boxing sector is low, they try to fund it, they try to push through. Even though we can't do the things the Saudi are doing, we should at least meet it halfway or quarter. It would also encourage bigger promoters to be down here. So because most of the shows that is done in Nigeria, everybody takes a loss. So, but if the government is involved, the TV rights can also come in. Because if the athletes don't have TV rights and they're promoters, how good is the show? It will not be worth investing in. So we can also turn here to a huge boxing hub. We can also create new champions. I believe people like Anthony Joshua, they're looking forward to seeing new champions arise because as they're getting older, they want people to fill their shoes in. So I pray one day things is going to change, everything will change, and we'll get it right. We have all the talents. We just need that financial, support. We also need it's a good system whereby we have the right people in the right positions, both in the government affairs, both in the boxing affairs, and also all the officials are properly trained. These are things that needs to be done. If the right people are put in the right positions, things will take shape.
Prince Stanley Williams gives recipe for bringing back the glory days. I think that more will have to be done to unearth the abundant talents that will make the nation's sports the better for it.
We're all hopeful as Nigerians. We have to be hopeful. If we're not hopeful, then I don't know how we're going to get where we're going to. In sports generally, I would say there's a lot of prospects in the football. There's hope. There's hope in athletics because our people are seeing competition with US and Jamaica. They want to partake in it. In fact, we've brought up people like Toby Amusan and a few of them, the likes of them. They've done very well. So that's giving us confidence that we can do better. If you look at in boxing, we've not yet produced the list of boxers that were supposed to produce at this point in time. Ukraine was in that position. They are still in that position. They've been able to produce like popular boxers. You have Lomachenko, you have Usyk, you have the Klitschko's. We can do that in Nigeria. We have the strength, we have the genetics, we have what it takes. We just need the right people. We need them to be provided to us. We need also the right training. We need all the officials involved, the coaches involved to be properly trained. We need also sponsorship from the government. The government has to start it. They have to spark it because any country that has that boxing, that kind of talent, we have so much talent. I believe that only very few African countries can speak the way we speak when it comes to boxing. And many of them do not possess what we possess. Even when I speak to certain managers in other countries, they say Nigeria has got a lot of talent. So you see some boxers, either the career do not go well or the dream is cut short. So they would expect a promoter who means well to do everything. So which it doesn't go that way. So if things are done rightly, like I said earlier on, everyone should be trained properly, from the officials to the coaches to the people handling the boxing administration. They should have the right people. The right people in there, things will change. The government funds can be used appropriately.
Like every Nigerian sports stakeholder, the CEO of Monarch Events and Promotions, which has numerous up and coming fighters and experienced boxers on its table, has his opinion and advice for Nigeria's Sports Development Minister, John Owan Eno.
Honorable Minister John Eno, there are so many things that has to be gotten right in the sporting industry because the sporting industry is suffering as it stands. And where we should have done better, we're not doing as great. We're just always okay with whatever we can get. We have passed that stage. So we'd expect that even he doesn't have to be very good he can't know it all. A leader doesn't know everything. So you get the right people in each type of sports. If it's football, you get some very, very good people that are honest in football. Boxing, get people that are honest in boxing. Same thing with lawn tennis. All these sports that are very, very, they are lucrative and also very popular. These are popular sports. So the Honorable Minister, it will be his duty to get in touch with the right people in the areas and who do not have any bad intents. They want to make a change in the country. They will all help in all these various sports. You look at football, you look at boxing, you look at lawn tennis. Honorable Minister John Eno, you should do the right thing. We expect the best from you. Thank you, sir.
And that's the perspective of the stakeholders in Nigerian sports. Enjoy the rest of the package on the best of sports.